thoughts on the Great Gatsby film? I've not seen the, I've not read the book. Yeah, I've not read the book, but my comments now are based on the film. I've been repeatedly watching that Great Gatsby film because it's 3D and it is amazing, yeah. And it really is exhibit material. The 3D on the disc is, and I've read online that it's been translated from book a few times now. Been translated to the small screen and the big screen, yeah, both. Now, what intrigues me, yeah, and what comes to mind straight away about the Great Gatsby. Now, as I say, bear in mind, I've not actually read the book, but regardless, right, I'm going to say it anyway. What intrigues me most, yeah, about the Great Gatsby, the 3D version, yeah, the recent 3D version, Basil Ehrman's version, yeah. I've not seen the other translations yet. I've only seen Basil Ehrman's version all the way through. I believe it's been translated a few times. But what strikes me is what would make a great film would be, I presume, right, there might be some spoilers here, so if you've not seen the film Great Gatsby or read the book and you intend to, turn off now. What would make a great narrative for a film, I think, is the time in the movie. Basil Ehrman's, it's just in flashback form, but I would like to see more of it. The time he spends with the man he rescues, the alcoholic millionaire he rescues from drowning on his yacht in a storm when he was a young boy after first leaving home, when he was dirt poor. I think the time spent with that man learning his gentleman ways, travelling around the world together, when they travel around the world together on a yacht, which is where how Gatsby learned his worldly ways, his gentleman ways. That 5 years or so they spent travelling together, sailing together around the world, and then losing out on his inheritance from the millionaire. I think that 5 year, 6 year, the narrative to that period of time would make for a great film in itself. Also, when he has that period of time, and then straight after that period of time there's also another flashback in the film, and it narrates the time straight after he loses out on his inheritance, another portion of time to the time where he goes to war, meets the girl for the first time during his training, and then his disappearing after the war, to returning to the girl, and then 5 years later appearing on the scene again with loads of money. I think that time would also make for a great narrative to a film. So the time where he loses out his inheritance and basically showing up with loads of money, which no one sees or hears from him, from the time he loses out on the inheritance to when he turns up on the scene with all his money. I think that's a 5 year gap. I think that period of time also, the narrative to that period of time, but also make for a great film. Now here we get all the books from heart. Every film has to have a payoff, doesn't it? It has to have a beginning bit, a middle section, and the finale, the payoff. Those two periods of time wouldn't have that in themselves. They wouldn't have that kind of structure. So that's where my point really falls flat. Maybe they would make for great books. I don't know if the book, Nick Carraway's the fictional biography, does expand on those two periods of time or not. I don't know. I say I've not read the book, but my feelings are the narratives to those periods of time would make for a great story in themselves, both in themselves. Better narratives to actually what we have in Lerman's film, to be honest with you. Even though the structure to those two narratives wouldn't be filmic, i.e. the three portions, beginning, middle and finale, they wouldn't have a payoff. There would be no payoff, because each are portions, just segments of Gatsby's life. That's why in the film they just treat it as two flashbacks, because the film, Lerman's film, has to have the payoff, has to have that structure. So that's why it's been the two sections of time have been treated in such a way, just in flashback form. They're right when they say in the special features to Lerman's film, Lerman says how tricky the potential was for it to be made into a film, and it's because the book covers such a large period of time. Yeah, even though Gatsby himself died young, it covers a large period of time. The flashback, one of the two flashbacks, deals with Gatsby as a very young boy. Yeah. So even though, as I say, Gatsby dies very young in the film, in the book, it still covers a solid 35 years, 40 years of a man's life. Oh, they're my thoughts. I think they make two very intriguing narratives. I can't help thinking when I watch the film. Old sport. I think Leonardo DiCaprio should have lost more weight to play the role of Gatsby. I think a man of who suffers lack of discipline regarding the consumption of food does not reflect to me a man who has spent time in war or as a child learning his ways through packing a backpack and walking off into the wilderness on his own. Does not reflect that to me. It's a shame Lerman didn't demand of him to lose more weight. You can see chocolate eclairs and pastries layered and slapped all over his face. Whenever I watch him in Lerman's film, I can't help just see burgers and cheese, like polyfiller on a wall. Burgers, chocolate eclairs, custard slices, all laid over his face and under his chin, his neck there. There's so much digital and enhancing in that film, in Lerman's Gatsby. There's so much, to the extent where even the heads have been put on actors with slimmer bodies. Both Nick Carraway's character and Gatsby's. Yeah, you can tell. It's just so obvious. Lerman probably only used their eyes in some scenes. It is that obvious, even though it doesn't suffer with compression of the disc doesn't suffer with any kind of artifacts. It does look great. You know, the digital, what is digital does look great, but you can tell that even in some scenes that they've only just used the actor's eyes even. God knows what shape Tobey Maguire and Leonardo DiCaprio were really in when they were filming that, when they were recording that film. God knows what shape they were in. You can tell by DiCaprio's face and some scenes Tobey Maguire's face. Their bodies would have been out here. You can tell by the amount of fat on the face. You can tell. It's quite laughable actually. Alright, well they're my thoughts on The Great Gatsby. Over and out.